So this issue of weight loss has been an issue in the media on and off over the last 15 or 20 years especially, but as most of you know, people have a really hard time with weight control, and most of the fad diets out there really don't work because they really don't help people gain knowledge in terms of what they need to do to maintain a weight goal. And fad diets don't work simply because they don't deal with the fundamental issue of increasing metabolism. And that's what you need to do really to maintain a certain weight level that's comfortable for your body type. What I'd like to do today is just to run through some of the main difficulties with weight control and how my system is works differently in terms of raising metabolism and maintaining your metabolism, so you don't have this you know, you go on a diet and you lose a bunch of weight, and then 2 months later you've gained that weight back and a little more than what you had lost. So it's rather frustrating for most people, and they get discouraged and then give up completely. So what I'm saying is that people really need to get knowledgeable of what it is that they need to be doing, and I remind people that they need to remember their what they used to do perhaps when they were kids to help with weight control. And as you know, most kids are pretty active, and they have a very good attitude about life. They're not as down. They may have be upset over something, but quickly they start laughing, and within short order of getting in a little disagreement, say with one of their friends, they forget it really quickly. As adults don't do a very good job of that, and that negative energy really eats us up, and as well slows down our metabolism. Some simple things often are undiagnosed, and this is a very big problem. One might have candida or parasites, and if this condition is not identified by their medical doctors or whatever health professional they might be seeing, then they're going to have this very big difficulty. They're constantly hungry, and they're wondering why they have to keep eating. Another big issue that I've come to know over the years, even as a kid, was that I was told at a very young age that I was deficient in minerals. And from when I was very young, when I'd visit my home country in Italy, they would tell me that, medical doctors that is, would tell me that I was deficient in minerals, and the skinny little kid needed to be taking minerals. And every time I went on a regimen of minerals, I would feel better, and when I came back to Canada over time, obviously I wasn't taking those supplements, and I'd get sick again. Thankfully, I've really never had a real big problem with weight control. However, I probably inadvertently, even as a kid, was probably doing all the right things right. So another big fallacy is this whole issue of calories in versus calories out in the way of exercise. I mean, we know now that based on all the research that's a misnomer. And actually, certainly it's important to not overeat, but at the same time, issues that are more important is getting a handle on hormones. And as you know, most men think that it's an issue with women, but in fact it's an issue with men. With age, your hormone levels go down, and unless you do things to increase your hormone levels, you're going to probably gain weight. And typically in men, you see this little punch that doesn't go away, and you see all these products that people are trying to sell you to lose your abdomen. Well, you need to do more than that. You need to do something to increase your hormone levels, and you need to do something to increase your metabolism. So my orientation obviously is that as a homeopath, I believe that homeopathy is a great tool to increase those things. And I've been doing counseling for so many years that I really believe that if you deal with your emotional issues, you won't do this thing that some people call emotional eating. Often people turn to certain foods at certain times when they're upset, and will overeat and tend to go to the carbs where most of the problems lie. You need to coordinate a little bit more how much you're eating in the way of your distribution of carbs versus proteins, let's say. So that's very important, and one needs to look at that. Another big thing, as I mentioned, was this whole issue of minerals. It's my experience that when I put my patients on 16 minerals every day, essential minerals, that in fact the vitamins that they're taking actually work better, and they will not have the kind of cravings that they did prior to taking the minerals. My friends in veterinary medicine have known this fact for many, many years, that when animals are given minerals, they stop chewing on fence posts. So a sure sign that animals are deficient in minerals is they're starting to chew on fence posts and eating dirt. Well, humans normally don't chew on fence posts, but we do all kinds of other strange things, like grab a bag of chips and start consuming the whole bag or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while, but when you're doing that every day or consuming large amounts of carbonated drinks, that's a sure sign that there might be something going on with your system, namely your thyroid gland and your pancreas. So those things really need to look at. And when you see a health professional like myself, those are some of the things that we identify right off in terms of some issues that might be going on with the person. So I tailor-make my kind of weight loss programs with people, or weight control, if you will, on those issues, and identify what systems in the body are working better than others and how we can turn that all around. And I teach people how to deal with their emotions, and I do help them do some journaling, and I give them a framework that I'll get into in another video on emotional issues, speaking specifically about how to deal with key emotions that are often not dealt with from a young age and then begin to haunt you over the course of time. Meditation is a very important thing that I'll get into also in other videos, but some simple breathing exercises make a lot of difference in terms of catching yourself when you start thinking negative and if you're having a bad day or whatever. Just taking even 4 or 5 minutes out and doing some good deep breathing exercises will help immensely. And in terms of weight control, that's vitally important, to change your mindset and to bring some positive energy around yourself will bear fruit. And I encourage my clients to let things go and not harbor with the negative things that unfortunately do happen from day to day. So in a nutshell, that's basically what I encourage people to do. It's kind of like a multi-leveled approach to dealing with weight loss. And you don't do weight loss for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever, 3 months, and you're done with it. This is what most people call a lifestyle kind of change, and you do all the things right that you need to be doing over time, and then weight loss is not an issue. It doesn't matter what you do over the short term. You're going to obviously, once you change, even just going for a half-an-hour walk every day will obviously make you lose some weight. But in combination with all these other things that I reviewed in the last few minutes, a walking program would be incredibly good. And then coupled with a little walking program, you see on my website that I became involved with wellness belts. And I'm a firm believer that these belts work very good for osteoporosis and other issues of arthritis. And as a side benefit, the inventors of this belt realized that they had what they call an inches lost program on their hands. And just by wearing the belt, it increases your metabolism and helps you build bone matrix and etc. While you're wearing this belt. And I've often encouraged patients to consider getting this belt. So in a nutshell, there's various things that one needs to do to increase your metabolism and gain some control over your weight gain or weight loss.